All right, we are doing our tarot pull for this morning. And again, we are going to do the 3 cards working with the past, present, and future. So source, I am looking for, again, what is the message today? What do I need to know most? And we're going to do 3 cards, past, present, and future. Okay, so the 3 of Wands to me talks about getting ready to go on a journey. The phrase that's coming to mind in my head is like he's waiting for his ship to come in to take him on the journey. So the King of Wands, the King of Wands. So Wands is about a cycle of action. So about cycles in my life. So I feel like this is about stepping into authority and like, because the king is regal and he holds power and authority. So yeah, I think this card is going to be about stepping into my new cycle, my new cycle of action with confidence and hopefully clarity. Oh, apparently we had another card hiding under the future card. So the future card that I pulled was the High Priestess. So we did the High Priestess the other day, and it was about balance. You think I would remember from the other day. Okay, so we're starting with the 3 of Wands today, which showed up in the past portion of the poll. And the key words for the 3 of Wands is vision, planning, expansion, waiting for results, and seeing the bigger picture. So this card is suggesting and telling the story that in the past, I have been looking forward, setting intentions, and preparing for expansion. So it's been about me stepping beyond my comfort zone, sending out my ships, and waiting to see what comes back. So this is reflecting of the stage where I was dreaming, planning, and beginning to put my spiritual journey, as well as my healing journey, into motion. It's the energy of seeing possibilities and preparing for growth. So I've always been looking ahead towards the future, towards moving towards my dreams and my goals, and stepping out of my comfort zone and moving through the process, even when it was yucky, even when it felt uncomfortable, in order to get to the other side of. This has been particularly true for me in regards to my healing journey from my trauma, and also the work that I do helping others in discovering and tapping into their own healing abilities through my work as a social worker, and more recently as I'm transitioning from traditional social work into a holistic practice with my company Unimend. So that is the 3 of Wands. All right, moving on to the King of Wands that showed up in the present section of today's reading. So the King of Wands is about leadership, vision, confidence, and stepping into authority. So the King of Wands is said to be a visionary leader who has clarity and fire. So he knows where he's going and isn't afraid to step forward with passion. So this card showing up for me in the present shows that I'm stepping into a role as a leader, a guide, and a creator. It reflects that I'm taking ownership of my vision. So by wanting to help other people on their spiritual journey and growth, while also continuing mine and learning, I'm stepping into a role as a leader of saying, hey, this is what I've learned, this is where I'm at, and sharing that with you all in hopes that it helps you learn and discover your own spiritual path and journey. And again, the thing about spirituality is it's very individual. So I may have an interpretation of the King of Wands, and you may have a different interpretation of the King of Wands. You're right, and I'm right. Like, this is really about putting out the information as I'm learning it and what feels right and true to me, but also encouraging you to take what you like, leave what you don't, and discover what it means for you personally. Because there are no hard and fast rules, right? Again, there's keywords and interpretation to each card, but you may look at it and say, stepping into authority doesn't feel right for me. Or how stepping in authority could feel totally different from how I interpret stepping into authority, right? So again, it's coming back to having the courage and the charisma to put myself out here and step forward and say, this is what I'm learning, and this is what I think I know, and I want you to learn alongside with me, and I want you to take what you like, and by also telling you and giving you absolute permission, I don't know if that's the right word, but to say, like, if it doesn't feel right for you, then it's not right for you, and that's okay too. All right, so the High Priestess showed up in the future part of the reading. And the High Priestess is all about intuition, higher knowledge, divine feminine wisdom, and trust in the unseen. So the High Priestess is about trusting your inner guidance and allowing things to be revealed in divine timing. So it's less about action and more about attunement and inner knowledge. So showing up in the future position, I feel like it is suggesting for me that my future, the path forward towards the future that I am manifesting and dreaming of, will happen with deepening my intuition, deepening in surrendering myself to the mystical and the inner wisdom that I hold within. And that I am being guided by Source, Spirit, God, however you frame that realm, and that my intuition will become stronger and be more helpful in guiding me along my path than any external knowledge. So really, I feel like it's talking to me and reminding me that I have the answers within, with the help of Source, who is constantly communicating with me, that I have to continue to surrender to my intuition and surrender to the spiritual journey that I'm on, and that my inner wisdom is what will guide me to the future that I desire. So it's not really about taking actionable steps, which I've been asking. Like, I've been like, Source, tell me what to do next, right? Tell me what the next step is. And Source is telling me it's to go within. And not just go within, but like go within, allow the process, allow the expansion of my spiritual gifts, and to trust. To trust. That's probably the thing that I'm struggling with the most, because I'm constantly seeking validation for what I think I know. So the path to my future is to stop seeking that outside validation, although I'm going to continue to expand and learn and grow because knowledge is important, but I need to step away from needing that validation and start moving towards more just trusting my inner knowing, because I am being guided by Source, and that is one of the key ways that Source is guiding me towards the future I am seeking. Hey, and the bonus card today in the future position was the King of Swords. So it is about clarity, truth, wisdom, mental mastery, and communication. So the King of Swords balance intellect with integrity. So he speaks truth, he makes decisions with clarity, and he uses wisdom responsibly. So for me, this is just an added layer for my future. Not only will I grow in intuitive wisdom through the High Priestess, but I'll also master the art of speaking it clearly and with authority. So it's about being a trusted voice of clarity and truth in my work. So again, I feel like for me, It's telling me that I will have the combination of the two, that in the future, that it will be not only learning to grow in my intuitive wisdom, but I will also continue to master and work on the art of speaking not only my truth, but the knowledge that I am learning with clarity and authority to others to help them on their spiritual journey and or healing journey. Because to me, they're two separate journeys, but they're going hand in hand, right? Okay, so putting the 4 cards together in context, again, using the past, present, and future model. So the 3 of Wands was talking about how I've been setting intentions, planning, and waiting for my vision to expand. So I've been dreaming of something bigger, and I started sending energy out towards it. All very true. The King of Wands in the present is saying that I'm now stepping into leadership. I'm no longer just waiting. I'm embodying confidence and taking action and sharing my vision with others. So do I feel right to be sharing with you all? There's a part of me that's like, you know nothing, Pam, you're learning. But the other part of me feels like I am learning, and that learning is part of the process, and it's an important part of the process. So instead of coming across as somebody who knows it and telling you to take my word for it, I'm inviting you along the learning experience with me, which puts me in a leadership role because I am leading you as I go down the path as well, if that makes sense. Okay, so in the future, we got the High Priestess and the King of Swords. So what I think the story is telling me is that my path ahead is a blend of mystical intuition and divine guidance and clear communication. So I'm being prepared, apparently, to hold both roles as the seer and the teacher or the voice of truth. So together, to sum it up, I dreamed it. I'm now stepping into it with courage. And the future is about embodying both my intuitive wisdom and clear, authoritative guidance. Okay, so I talked a lot about how I feel this applies in my life right now, but I'm just going to try to sum it up. So I think the 3 of Wands is telling me that my past planning of my healing work, my education and the coursework I'm doing, and now this working towards sharing content around spirituality is all about been looking ahead and imagining what the possibilities would be. The King of Wands is telling me that right now I'm stepping boldly into this vision. I'm creating, I'm sharing, I'm leading my spiritual journey public. So this is sort of like the beginning of my leadership phase. And then the High Priestess and the King of Swords is helping me to understand that my future points to integration. So I will become a path or a bridge between intuition and intellect. So blending of that mystical insight with grounded wisdom. This reflects my soul's past perfectly, which is part healer, part teacher, and part guide. So basically, I think the cards are saying to me, the vision I've been holding is real. I'm stepping into it now with courage, and Spirit is preparing me to embody both deep intuition and wisdom with clear communication as I move forward.